Welcome to the Pyramid Insider. I'm Tyler Patner, and today we got a brand new one with the Kerall Puncher Breaker Silent in .22 caliber. So starting at the muzzle end, we do have a half shroud system here. You got a couple inches of dead space there to mitigate the sound. It does do a pretty good job. Obviously, we'll put it on the sound meter for you guys and see what it does. Moving down here, we do have a gauge that reads in bar. Now it's a 200 bar fill and it's a 280 cc cylinder. So they're saying about 40 shots or so. Obviously, we're going to put it on the chronograph and see how that works out. To fill, you do have a rotatable dust cover here on the bottom. Got a standard fill probe threaded to 1/8 BSPP, and yes, there are O-rings on it, even though they are clear and you really do have a tough time seeing it. So you go ahead and slide that in there and you're able to fill. Very easy system. We're going to be putting a quick disconnect, a little male on there to be able to hook up to our QD systems. And you'll obviously notice this is a synthetic model. They do also come in wood in the bullpup configuration here, but the reason I chose the synthetic is because they got this cool little hideout, so to speak, for your extra magazine. Gun does come with two. They're standard spring-driven magazine, except they're a little bit higher capacity. It's a 12 round in the .22 here, and then 14 in .177, 10 in .25. So a good bit of shots out of each of those magazines there. And nice little thing, they all come with a single shot tray for those of you guys that are looking for a little bit more precision as well. Flipping the stock over, you notice that we have this little brass insert here. All the Kerall guns come with a 2.5-inch Picatinny rail section here that can be installed right on the bottom. Comes with a screw as well, of course. I'm going to forego that though. I'm not a huge fan of a bipod. I prefer to shoot off bags for the testing that we do. But if you do want a bipod or a sling of some sort, that's certainly going to be a good option. And again, some of them do come with it already installed. But most of your bullpup configured shin guns and the wood stocked rifle models are not going to have them installed, but they are included if you want to put them on. Checking out the trigger, this is 2-stage adjustable. Kerall says it's adjustable from just under 1 pound to about 3 pounds. I don't know where this one's exactly at, just giving it a quick feel here. And you can decock the rifles like many others out there. Nice take up, clean break. Maybe in the 2-pound range, so we'll see. We'll put it on the scale, see where it comes in at. Finger grooves here, quite nice. It's a very ergonomically comfortable stock. And since we mentioned the stock, you do have an adjustable cheek piece as well. Now, it's not up and down adjustable, but front and back adjustable. So depending on what scope length you have, you can adjust it to get the right cheek weld for you. A lot of bullpups, in my opinion, don't really hit this note well. They are a little bit uncomfortable on the cheek, but Kerall has managed to figure it out in a way that's going to make it usable for shorter shooters, taller shooters, everyone. So I definitely like this feature here on the back. We also have a freeform power adjuster, so you can set this really anywhere in between here. It's finger adjustable. You got your minus on one side here, plus on the other. We'll see exactly, where the low setting hits, maybe a mid setting, and then obviously we'll do the full shot count on high. But you do have the ability to change the power on this gun. It's a transfer port adjustment, very easy to use. And it's something that I think is going to be great for those of you that want to shoot in the basement, then you want to go out into the backyard. It gives you the ability to do whatever you want with the gun. We got a nickel side lever here, very easy to operate, very smooth. It is a little bit awkward at the back of the gun having to reach back and operate it, but certainly works well. There's no up and down wobble in it. It is very stout, kind of like the rest of the Kerall build quality as far as I can tell thus far. Very stout. Everything is well made on this gun. And you also have a hunter style safety here, so nice and quiet when you're in the field and easy to use. Just flick it with the finger and it is ready to go. Send it back, put it on safe. And rounding out the stock, we got a rubber butt pad here. Overall, really nice feel to this. Obviously pretty short at under 30 inches and about 7.5 pounds. It's really manageable and quite well balanced. For the accuracy portion today, we've got a UTG compact 3-12 SWAT scope here. I think it really accents the rifle nicely. Short rifle, short scope, might as well go with it. Also keeps the weight down. And it's mounted on top of the Weaver Picatinny style aluminum rail system here that you'll find on the Kerall bullpup guns. And obviously they do have that combo rail on the rifles where it's a dovetail and then a Weaver style setup as well. But it's just straight Picatinny Weaver on the bullpup, so something to keep in mind when you are selecting your rings. But heck, you know what? Let's go out to the range, see how she does. I don't want to talk anymore. Let's go shoot. Alright guys, looking over our accuracy results here at 45 yards, pretty good. The Barracuda Hunter Extremes obviously had that one fly on me a bit there, but I think the majority of the group isn't too bad. You know, probably the end user, but you never know. But obviously the JSB 18 1 heavies right here are by far the best pellet out of this gun that we tested. You're talking about basically 4 shots and a half inch. That one snuck up there a little bit, making it about a 3/4 inch group. For a gun in this price range, that is damn good. I'm really impressed by that. And then kind of one that surprised me a little bit, the Predator GTOs here. They're like 12 grains, 11.75. 45 yards to be putting down an inch group is pretty darn good as well. So you got a couple pellet options that are going to be hunting worthy for sure, and really that's what these crawls are for. Some hunting at a good distance, and obviously 45 yards is definitely a good distance for most any PCP, and the crawl can get the job done. So we got a spring-loaded magazine design. So there's a little spring inside there behind this screw. You simply follow the arrow, you turn that face all the way around, and you're going to be presented with that open hole there. Now you want to put your finger behind it and make sure that the pellet doesn't fall through when you load that first pellet. You load that first pellet and then you can release that. Now it's holding spring tension on that pellet. You're going to want to go around and then load the rest of the chambers. Very simple. Alright, so we got all 12 rounds loaded here in the magazine. We're just going to close her up like that. See that ridge line on the back of the mag? There's also a recess in the breech here. I'm just going to line them up. Push all the way through, bolts forward, we're good to go. Right from the beginning of the 200 bar fill, you can see we started about 831-ish, and we go on up to about 844 at the high, which is shot number 9, but it really levels off after that with our average around 834. You don't get a whole lot more consistent than this on an unregulated gun. You know, a 20 foot per second spread over 40 shots is really, really good, and putting out 28 foot-pounds of energy means you're going to have more than enough power and more than enough shots to get the job done with the crawl. So for those of you guys that don't know, crawl actually means king, so it's king arms if we were to translate crawl to English. And I think it's fair to say that crawl definitely has a winner and maybe a king of the budget-friendly, lower price point PCPs out there right now. I'm impressed. 5/8 group at 45 yards with a 12 power scope. It's not pellet picky. Seems to shoot a couple different pellets well, as you guys have seen. Crawl has a ton of value packed into this thing. The 2 magazines, you got the extra storage slot for your mags, you got the addition of a Weaver Picatinny rail on the bottom, single shot tray. I mean, guys are doing everything right here. 40 plus shots at roughly 20 feet per second spread. With all the features packed in these Crawl PCPs, guys, you really can't go wrong. You know, if you're looking for a budget-friendly PCP, this is, right now, like I said, I'd put it on top. This is the king. And Crawl certainly knocked it out of the park with these. So check them out right now on pyramidair.com. For The Insider, I'm Tyler Patner. We'll see you guys at the next one.